the council can only cut the budget. We can't cut and transfer. So this legislation will give the public the opportunity to give their input firsthand to the county executive. And at the work session, I went over a particular situation that I thought that the county executive last year would have benefited from hearing the public on that particular issue. Was the stat issue. Thank you.
Sure. Any more comments? Yes, Councilman Marks.
Question. I commend Councilman Cash for this bill and for supporting it.
Geographically divided, and the thing is that it requires 2 meetings. But I remember talking to former county executive Ted Venetoulis, who said when he was county executive, he had a meeting in each councilman's district with the local council members. So this certainly doesn't restrict that. It just requires a minimum of 2 meetings in different parts of the county. Thank you.
Yes, Councilwoman Beck.
It actually doesn't say in different parts of the county, so we might want to add that. It just says 2 public meetings.
Right, the bill requires 2 public meetings. It does not specify any particular issue.
I think I'm thinking of the first bill that did that. Could we, you want to move verbal amendment?
Sure, I'll move it.
I'll second.
The amendment, please call the roll on the amendment.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mrs. Solomon?
Aye.
Mr. Cash?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Green?
Aye. Any more comments on the bill?
Mr. Chairman, there is another amendment to the bill already that's in your books. It's sponsored by Councilman Cash, and this just makes it clear as to the applicability of the legislation, which Mr. Cash already mentioned, that it applies to the next fiscal year.
Okay.
Fiscal year 2020.
Right.
Can I get a motion to move that amendment?
I'll move it.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Cash?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mrs. Solomon?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Green? Aye.
Okay. The second amendment to Bill 1018 is passed. Any more questions or comments? I would just add, I thought it was interesting when I read in the paper, it reminded me that Councilman Burke was the chair, couldn't make it that day, so I stood in for you. And we had about this amount of people in the audience, and no one had anything to say. And I sit here, I remember begging people, is there somebody or something, is there something you want to say about this $3 billion? Even if it includes us writing you a check, come on up. And no one came up. So it'll be interesting to see how it is. I can't wait to see, in fact, if the new hearings will yield people. So hopefully it will. On that note, I will, Mr. Secretary, let's see, do we have a motion to approve this bill?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
This is on the bill as amended.
Yes.
Mr. Cash? Mrs. Solomon?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Council will now consider all fiscal matters. Extensive testimony was taken at the council's work session on March 13th. The witnesses who testified at the work session are available to restate their testimony if needed. I'll now call upon the secretary to read the cover letter for the fiscal matters 1 through 10.
Fiscal matter 1 is a budget appropriation transfer for the fire department. Fiscal matter 2 is a contract with EcoFlow Incorporated. Fiscal matter 3 consists of 2 contracts for temporary dental hygienists and dental assistants. Fiscal matter 4 consists of 3 contracts for recovery housing services. Fiscal matter 5 is a contract with Two Hearts Assisted Living LLC. Fiscal matter 6 is a contract with Patrice Milani Fitness Equipment. Fiscal matter 7 consists of 2 contracts for on-call tree trimming, removal, and stump removal services. Fiscal matter 8 is a contract with Rupert Landscape. Fiscal matter 9 is a contract with Classic Lawn and Landscape. And fiscal matter 10 is a contract with East Coast Management Group.
Okay. Everybody's okay with voting on these together? We have a motion to approve fiscal matters 1 through 10 as read.
So,
Can you give a second? I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on fiscal matters 1 through 10.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mrs. Ullman?
aye.
Cash?
Aye.
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye. Okay, fiscal matters 1 through 10 has passed. We now consider all miscellaneous business. Mr. Secretary, first item, please.
This is a notification from the Director of Budget and Finance regarding the awarding of contracts over $25,000 by a process other than formal competitive bid. Those contracts are required to be asked at the Council's legislative meeting. There are 8 contracts this evening. JEOL USA Incorporated, $45,238. Oxford Instruments America, $41,100. Sidnor Hydro Incorporated, $32,300. Rexel Incorporated, $91,246. AWE Acquisition Incorporated, $91,746. Lebowski Brothers, $34,777. Verizon, $38,396. And Baltimore Gas and Electric, $301,956.
Okay. Next item, Mr. Secretary.
Resolution 23-18, sponsored by Councilman Crandall. This is a resolution of the council to approve the review of a proposed planned unit development.
Mr. Crane?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I understand that we have an amendment.
There is one amendment that is sponsored by Councilman Crandall. It is in your books, and this just removes an incorrect code section reference. It's a technical amendment.
So I'll move the amendment, and then we can talk about the resolution.
Okay. The amendment has been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mrs. Ullman?
Aye.
Mr. Cash?
Aye.
Mr. Morris? Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Okay. The amendment to resolution 23-18 is passed. Mr. Crane?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Resolution 2318 would approve the review, the Baltimore County Agency review of the planned unit development at Sparrows Point Country Club. This is an exciting project for the community of Dundalk. This fits in with a vision that includes recreation of our job base, which is occurring at Trade Point Atlantic, the revitalization of our commercial corridors, and the improvement of our housing stock. So this is a real opportunity to create one of a kind, one of the most unique communities in all of Baltimore County, if not the state of Maryland, which would be a waterfront golf course community with a marina. And some of the highlights are the mixture of villas, townhomes, and single-family homes, again, creating what is a unique community and a real gem that I think goes along with the industrial and commercial activity happening. To have something like this in Dundalk, I think really puts Dundalk back on the map. And the process so far has played out where the developer has worked with various members of the community in excess of the required community input meetings, so I feel that the process has played out very well. There have been substantial community benefits derived from this planned unit development. I think Councilman Marks in our work session said it was an impressive list of community benefits. The overall project itself would create this 3 distinct neighborhoods, but also exceeds any open space requirements, and there'll be walking paths and things throughout, and different amenities that would make this a really, really special thing in Dundalk. So I'm pleased to submit the resolution, and I would appreciate my colleagues' support on it. Thank you.
Okay. Any more comments?
Yes, just to clear something up, what is Todd's inheritance? The community benefit.
Well, I wish that the Todd house was somehow in our family, but that's a historic landmark down on the North Point Peninsula. Councilman Catch. Thank you.
I remember when I was teaching at Howard Junior High School, this project was in place then.
Mhm.
So I'm surprised it's not finished, but I'm glad we're doing more for it.
Some good people are working on it.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more comments? Okay. Is there a motion to approve resolution 23-18?
I'll move it.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Crandall? Aye. Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mrs. Solomon?
Aye.
Mr. Kench?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Resolution 23-18 as amended is passed. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
The next item is a request from Councilman Quirk that the council confirm his nomination of Ms. Maureen Murphy to serve on the Baltimore County Board of Appeals for an additional 3-year term.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I just ask my colleagues for their support on the reappointment for Ms. Maureen Murphy. She sits on the Board of Appeals. She's exceptionally independent. She also is a lawyer by background, and so she's been a real asset to the Board of Appeals as they work through many different cases. She dives into detail. She really does bring a lot of legal expertise to the Board of Appeals, and so just wanted to urge your support.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Councilman?
Yeah, my father served on the Board of Appeals for, I think, like 10 years. And I remember coming from college and being down in the basement scrolling these opinions out in legal pads. It really is a tough job, and it really requires someone with good experience in the legal mind. And Ms. Murphy, I think, is one of the most senior members of this board. She's very sharp. This is a very great appointment. Thank you.
Any more comments? Yes.
And she is the daughter of former Councilman Murphy from Catonsville, Lansdowne, Arbutus, and Land.
Maybe outdoor, but not Pleasantville.
Okay, et cetera.
Home of UMBC, by the way.
So and he.
We can all laugh.
What's that?
Well, you know, they did a great first game, but didn't quite make it.
Oh, wait.
You know,
They did a great
I mean, to have this was the upset, it's the biggest upset ever.
Yeah.
What?
Councilman Quirk, we are proud of the Retrievers.
We're very proud of the Retrievers. Thank you, Councilor
Virginia
Crandall.
is rated #1 in the country, and UMBC went against them.
Already ready.
They were rated, well, they were 16, and 16 beat #1.
Wow.
And it wasn't even close, it was a great game.
But I will move that reappointment.
And I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on the reappointment of Ms. Maureen Murphy.
I forgot where we were after all that.
I brought it back.
I'm like, what are we doing? I'm sorry, Mr. Secretary.
This is on the reappointment of Ms. Murphy. Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mrs. Solomon?
Aye.
Mr. Kench?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins? Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Ms. Maureen Murphy is reappointed to the Board of Appeals. Mr. Secretary, did you watch UMBC play?
Yes.
Good, I just want to make sure, I'm on the spot check, I want to make sure that everyone in Baltimore County is watching. It was very impressive.
Mr. Boswell possibly called me to remind me.
Next item.
Did you watch it?
Oh, he did? Mr. Bosworth?
Did you watch it?
I did, sir.
Good.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, maybe we can have the UMBC team come in, that would be great. You know, talk about all kind of council resolution.
That'd be good.
They definitely earned it.
You'll probably be on like number 19, but I do believe they are certainly deserving of a resolution. They certainly put UMBC and Baltimore County on the map.
We should also have the Perry Hall High School State Championship basketball team.
Yeah, have that. You know, think about it.
Somebody always have to go on.
Oh, boy.
Okay, Mr. Secretary, is there something else? Next item.
I don't know who passed out the happy juice, but I didn't get it.
The next item is Resolution 26-18, which is sponsored by Councilwoman Bevins. This is a resolution to approve the refund of taxes collected from Buford Montley, who is a disabled veteran and entitled to that exemption.
I'm honored to move it.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mrs. Allen?
Aye.
Mr. Kennis?
Aye.
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Kramer?
Aye.
Ayes have it, resolution 26-18 is passed. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Resolution 28-18 is sponsored by Councilman Quirk. This is a resolution of the County Council supporting the designation by the Maryland State Arts Council of an Arts and Entertainment District in the Arbutus-Catonsville area. This is for introduction this evening.
Okay, Mr. Secretary, next item.
Resolution 29-18 is a resolution of the County Council to approve the review of a proposed plan unit development. This is sponsored by Councilman Jones, and it is for introduction this evening.
Okay. Is there any further business
Yes.
before the council?
Mr. Chairman, if I might.
Sure.
I just wanted to personally acknowledge our Attorney General for the county, Scott Schellenberger. Scott had just recently charged a gentleman in Arbutus with 3 counts of animal abuse. And I think he did the right thing. I think he really investigated something that was just an injustice that was done in Arbutus. And so I just wanted to thank the Attorney General, Scott Schellenberger, for all his work and dedication toward doing the right, State's Attorney, Scott Schellenberger, for doing the right thing there.
Agreed.
Okay. Any more questions or comments? Well, I'm going to go back to UMBC one more time.
I like it, I like
The
it.
Golden
Come to
Retrievers.
Catonsville, come to Catonsville.
You know, I have to admit that I don't watch a lot of basketball games, but I did, once the Retrievers made their way to the tournament, I did watch it. And my nephew said, of all the games to watch, you picked a good one. On another note, I heard someone say that they believe that win resulted in the neighborhood of $35 million in publicity for the school.
Wow.
And I don't know how they came up with that number. I guess they looked at all the press that they received. And I've always kind of been like a real big sports fan. But when I see that, and I see how it brought so much attention to the school and so many people engaged and involved, then I can clearly see the value of sports in our society. Even though sometimes I wonder whether we should be financing these stadiums, but that's a different story. But I'm very, very proud of them. I think they made us all proud. And even the second game, Councilman Catch, they hung in there. They weren't even supposed to be on the court, but they hung in there. They kept it close. And a couple more baskets dropped, they could have won. So, on that note, I guess absent any more comments on UMBC, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting. I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Secretary, all in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. As is customary, anyone that signed up prior to the meeting with the secretary is allowed to speak for 3 minutes on UMBC. Oh, I'm sorry, speak for 3 minutes on any subject they like this evening. And on that note, I will call Ms.